Buddy, it is Tuesday, June 14th, 2022, and it's a Tuesday, so, that means it is time for the Monster Maverick Show. I am your host, Neil, and I am, around the Splinterlands ecosystem. This is the show all about Splinterlands, but from the investment earnings, financial side of things, rather than, playing and game strategy. So, I always like to lead with, why I might have something to say. I've been around since day one. free banana in bed for all node owners. Excellent. Been around Splinterland since day one. Largest single individual holder of Splinterland's assets outside of Aggroed and maybe somebody else on the team. And I'm 50% of the X Chaos project, which was a Chaos Legion launch pool. I'm 50% of the Venari Syndicate, which is a syndication fund for accredited investors who want to get exposure to Splinterland's cash flow assets. And this show is fully node. This is the fully node show. In fact, let me go ahead and publish the tweet that I need to publish saying that we are live. And so this week is fully node. So, we're going to be talking a bunch about nodes, and I have a special treat for everybody because people have been asking me for stuff, and I'm coming through. I'm delivering the goods this week on the show. Good to see you too, Dragon. So quick kind of agenda for the day. I did want to obviously do my ecosystem updates. I don't know if you noticed, but the past few days in crypto has just been horrendous. We're down like 30% in like 4 days, just, crypto-wide. We will see in the ecosystem numbers that some of that has been reflected in Splinterland's assets. It has gone along for the ride. And then we're going to do a whole lot of nodes talk. And why I still think they're, one of the best buys going in the Splinterlands world. And a couple other updates. There was some chatter from Brybro earlier in the Discord about changes to daily focus. I have my own ideas about the daily focus that I will share with you. And, time permitting, we'll open some packs. That's always fun. The market is bleeding for sure. That is very, very true. I don't know if you guys know this, but early in the day, on Tuesdays, we usually do the Leo Finance AMA. So I do that with Scaredy Cat Guide and Cal. Cal's the originator of Leo Finance, and we talk a lot about the crypto markets and everything. So if you're around earlier in the day, you should check that out if you're interested in the crypto side of things more. And let's see, Gip is asking, give me a loan, 100k region on wax. Ooh, 100k region on wax. I might have to look at that. Aggroed is here. Yeah, subscribe please. Yes. I know nothing about how Twitch actually works. So if subscribing helps, do the subscription. I don't know. I don't know what these points are in the channel points. What's the deal with Celsius? So Celsius is having major liquidity problems. In that they have a whole bunch of staked ETH, which is staked on the ETH 2.0 server thing, which is not able to be unstaked until there's a merger. So, you get money for subs. Great. Subscribe then. Their liquidity has been dropping, and people have started running for the exits. And it turns out I think it was the CFO, I don't know, somebody got arrested from the C-suite there a couple days ago. So, it's all looking not good. And they've frozen withdrawals and, friends don't let friends centralized exchange, basically. The only thing I use centralized exchanges for personally is on-ramp and off-ramp between fiat. Everything else is actually DeFi. Yes, Celsius does not equal DeFi. Yes, that is correct. It is a centralized lending platform. It's as far as I'm concerned, there is no longer any reason to use centralized exchanges for anything. There's the on-ramp, off-ramp thing, so what's interesting now is that, peak monsters or peak D. You can actually buy a hive with your, I think with a debit card or credit card, and they charge you like 4 or 5%. Premium for that to cover fees and everything. But it's actually a decent way to get into Hive assets and skip all the other stuff. I don't know how deep their liquidity is. Might be something to ask Jarvie, but it's a great way to get into DeFi because Hive is a decentralized platform, and then from Hive you can go into other things. Through the Leo Finance bridges, you can get into Polygon or Binance Smart Chain, or you can get into the Hive engine layer and then get into Splinterland stuff. So I mean, it's a great entry point. But if you already have the centralized on ramp off ramp, then maybe it's not worth the 4 or 5% that they charge. But again, always check liquidity when you're doing that kind of thing. Make sure that there's enough in order for your particular entry or exit to make sense. I don't know if they do exits, but yeah. Talk with Jarvie, Peak Monsters, Peak D, and I'm sure other solutions will come along over time. Okay, so that's me. That's who I am. That's why I do the show. Well, I mean, part of it's for me in that I like to keep tabs on everything, but mostly just for fun. So spreadsheets are my idea of fun. So anyway, let's get started. Let me throw on the theme song, and we will come right back. And that is the song composed by Isaria, who does all the official Splinterlands music. I dig it. I have not checked her blog lately to see if she's published anything more recently, because she publishes these individual songs that presumably will be used in game for different cutscenes, and I think a lot of it's going to go along with land. But it's good stuff. So I'm a fan. All right, ecosystem update. Let's go over to the sheets. All right, so this is my ecosystem value sheet, and so it's been a rough week. We're down 16% overall, and you can see it in the chart here that the older editions held up really well. Alpha, betas, not too much change. Then we could start to see stuff starting to shrink. SPS obviously was a big part. So if we go into the actual numbers, SPS dropped, I'm scrolling off the thing here. SPS dropped 30% in market cap. So that is quite a bit. And you can see a lot of other stuff, has dropped. The reds are greater than 10% drop. The greens are greater than 10% gain. And the whites are between positive and negative 10%. So the market cap of nodes went up 6%, which is nice. And Yeb is here, sweet. We got two of our founders. The two founders, I guess we should say. Everybody else is kind of afterwards. So yeah, SPS down 30%, vouchers down 29%, and this is in market cap terms, not just in price. So it factors in price and total number of tokens. And let's see, DEC down 24%. Totems, legendary totems took a tumble, 42% down. The rares and epic totems went up, so somebody went in and bought those. Regular totems down 49%. And let's see, tracks are down, plots are down. So today's all fully node, but land is getting pretty attractive. So somebody was just saying that there's a 100k region available on Wax. I've never bought anything on Wax, so I don't know the mechanics. I know it's on Atomic Hub, but I don't know how to get Wax really. I know there's some kind of bridge to Ethereum. I don't know, but 100K is pretty attractive, so it might be worth a bid. Um, but yeah, so everything's down. So overall, I'm actually pleasantly surprised to see a 16% drop because Bitcoin is down 30% over the past week, and having a an outperformance of Bitcoin for a high volatility asset or high volatility class of assets like Splinterlands NFTs and fungible tokens is actually pretty good. I think I was pretty happy to see that. So and you can see that the SPS dropped also exactly 30%. So it matched the overall crypto move, tick for tick. So it's rough times in the crypto world, but on the other hand, you can earn like crazy inside of Splinterland. So it makes up for some degree of that at least. And long term, so for those who are new to Splinterlands, which is the most people, right? Because Splinterlands only really exploded starting with the SPS launch about a year ago, and so Splinterlands was born in the bear market. It was born in May 2018, and crypto was doing nothing. So these are not strange times for the people who were here originally, but there's only like 2 or 3 thousand people originally. And a lot of them have gone because they couldn't handle the grind basically through the crypto winter. And we don't know the future. Obviously, we don't know if this current trend has reached its bottom, or if we're going to see Bitcoin at 10,000, or if we see one scenario that I'm a big fan of is if the Fed keeps hiking rates up into September, and then they turn around and turn the printing presses back on in September in time for the November elections. So who knows what crypto responds to, or how crypto as an asset class responds to the overall economic situation. But whatever it does, we do know that you can continue to earn in inside of Splinterlands in many different ways, right? And today we're going to talk about nodes, because I've been banging the drum on nodes for since launch basically, and I feel like people still don't appreciate the fact of the matter. So let's just dive into it. Enough preamble, right? Okay, so let's go over to the browser, because I did something that people have been asking for. Let's go to here. So this is the Fully Node worksheet. Between the sheets, Fully Node's so hot. Yes. So this is the worksheet. And this is now publicly shareable because people kept asking about it. And I really thought like T-Hawks from Splinter Cards or Asgarth from Peak Monsters, I thought one of them would do this first, but they haven't, so here it is. So I'm going to share you guys a URL so you can make your own copy. Spreading them sheets. So there's the Google Doc. It should be, I set it to share, so it should be okay. Let's see if anybody jumps in here. Oh, there we go. So it's working. So this is kind of a return calculator for nodes. So I'll just step through how this whole thing works, and then you guys can edit it however you like, because you can make your own copy, make your own assumptions. So basically, everything in orange is things to change, and everything in white is either reference or formulas. So right now, so I went into the Splinterlands, SPS dashboard, and the APR, the staking APR right now is 46%, 46.13, which is great. So that's a very simple, straightforward way to earn, right? So that's sort of our reference case, right? So I can hold SPS and I can stake it in game and I can make 46%. Okay, so keep that in mind. Then we have today's SPS price. We have today's voucher price, which has gotten shellacked over the past week. And then we have a ratio. So this ratio of voucher to SPS is very important for the node earnings, because you earn in both SPS and in vouchers. So the higher that ratio, the better for the voucher side of the earnings. And then we have the monthly pool that will be distributed amongst all node owners. And yeah, shellacked is a technical term. That's right. And then, so the voted validator pool, I don't have in my calculations because it's too difficult to model. I think because what one person might get in terms of votes for their validator is going to be drastically different than others, and we don't actually know the modeling or the structure of the distribution there, at least not yet. So we're just discounting this entirely, and then there's the 20,000 vouchers per day, which is distributed equally amongst whoever owns nodes. Technically, these are licenses. The node is the software. The license is kind of the receipt, the NFT. But we're using those interchangeably for here. Okay, so right now we're in tranche 1, and that means that we can buy a node for either $3,000 or $1,500 of SPS plus 500 vouchers, or somewhere in between. And obviously, because vouchers are under the discount rate, which currently is $3, then it makes sense to buy vouchers and use those 500 vouchers on each node purchase. So we're assuming that it's going to be $1,500 of SPS plus 500 vouchers. So that makes the price right this second to purchase a node from Splinterlands as $1,897.83. Okay, so we're calculating everything back to US dollars for comparison purposes, but really this is an SPS play because we're spending in SPS and we're earning in SPS and vouchers, and the vouchers are tied to the SPS through the exchange ratio. And the predominant way to buy and sell vouchers is through the voucher SPS pool, which I created, by the way, way back in the day. And fortunately, other people, I think mostly iGrowd actually, has provided liquidity for it so that everybody can actually transact and make things easier. Okay, so the way this calculation works is we're looking at the different months. So here's 2022, June, July, August, September, etc. And I pushed it out through December 2023, so a year and a half here. So license is 1983. Well, so there's the secondary market price, but this is 1897 is the price from buying it from Splinterlands, and that's assuming that these prices are they've probably shifted because I did this an hour or two ago, so it might be slightly different at this point. But yeah, if we go back to the ecosystem sheet, we can see that the license price is actually higher, which is interesting. So the secondary market here has not caught up to the the actual in-game price. So if you're looking to pick up nodes cheap, you can check the secondary market, but don't get caught because if it's more expensive on the secondary, there's no reason to buy there. Anywho, so back to the sheet here. So if you bought one right now, we'll look at. Yes, I know, Ron. So Asgarth showed Rondon how to pull SPS prices in Google Sheets. Apparently, there's some kind of JavaScript, copy and paste thing that goes on, which I don't know how to do. So maybe at some point I will figure that out, and we'll get live feeds on these prices. But okay, so you could buy one right now for $18.97, and then currently 2,657 have sold. That includes pre-sale of 2,000, and then 657 in tranche 1, and then if you own one of those, then how many vouchers a month are you getting? Well, if you split up the 20,000 per day times 30 days divided by the 2,657, it's 226 vouchers per node per month. And Clay, are you saying that Clown knows more about sheets than you? So Asgarth does for sure. So I have been very, very honest with people that, if you imagine spreadsheet wizardry from like a kindergarten to college graduate scale, I'm in upper level high school. There are people who know way more about spreadsheets than me. I just make use of them significantly. You know, I'm just voluminous in my spreadsheets. So I barely ever do macros. I don't do any scripting. I don't do all kinds of stuff. So definitely don't take me as like the end all be all of spreadsheet knowledge. But at that upper level high school level, I'm way better than most people. So it's it's how have they helped you the spreadsheets specifically? I mean, my whole job is in spreadsheets. But anyway, so at 226 vouchers per month per node, and currently we're at 0 for SPS because that's not going to turn on until August, which I realized over the last week that means that the airdrop will be over. So right now, at current prices, that makes the earnings at $179 worth of vouchers per month. So okay, so I buy a license for $18.97. I make 180, let's call it, and that's the instantaneous rate, right? But time evolves, things happen. Yeah. Between the sheets, super voluminous, fully node, yeah. So what this row here is the dollar inflow. So, the dollar inflow is like, okay, well, we're in competition, okay? Any kind of pool earnings is always in competition with everybody else in that pool. The more nodes that are sold, the smaller my percentage of that pool is, right? So my earnings are going to go down. So the question is, how much in dollar terms is buying into nodes that is increasing my competition, right? And so, this is an orange number. We can change this. And so right now I have it at $250,000 per month. So launch was, a couple million, and then, I'm assuming a $250,000 rate. But, we can change this and model different scenarios. And future SPS price, I'm saying at the end of June, it's going to be the same price as it is right now. Future voucher price, I'm going to say at the end of June, it's the same price as right now. Then what happens, right? So now we've gone from 2,657 nodes. 131 have been purchased with that $250,000, and now we're up to 2,788 nodes. So the share that any one node gets of all those vouchers shrinks. We're down from 226 vouchers per month to 215 vouchers per month. And so my earnings commensurately have also dropped, because of that competition increase. So now we're at $171 that we've earned. And the node resale price down here is, I'm assuming is a 5% discount compared to the in-game price, which is, arbitrary, but I think it's reasonable, because if the secondary market is going to cost the same or more, why not just buy it from the game? And so I'm expecting the secondary market to carry a little bit of a discount in order for this to work. Let's see. Will SPS be able to be earned after the airdrop ends through battles or guild brawls, or strictly? Well, SPS will have multiple earning mechanisms. You should read the white paper on it. There's going to be SPS staking on players for battle. There's going to be nodes. There's going to be LP incentives, and I think I'm forgetting something. But yeah, there will be ways to continue to earn SPS. It says here, there are few rewards pools that will begin to go live once the airdrop ends. And Splinterland Coliseum says, where does the information come from that fills all your spreadsheets? Like, how do you organize it? I mean, organization would be a strong word for it. But yeah, I mean, mostly it's just, these are things that I create. And, given the information that we know about Splinterlands from official posts and all that kind of stuff. So that's June, right? Now, July, you're still going to keep earning. And August, you're still going to keep earning. But there's still going to be more competition. And so I'm just modeling here $250,000 each and every month coming in. And what happens, as Tranche 1 sells out, we hit Tranche 2, the same $250,000 comes in, but because Tranche 2 has a higher price, then fewer nodes are going to be added to the system. So the increase in competition shrinks for the rewards pools, which is a very clever system, and it's just a good way to go. So we're tracking two different things here. So one is the dollar value of total earnings with both vouchers and SPS, and the cumulative amount of that over time. That's the total dollar earnings row right here. And then we're also tracking the earnings plus the resale value. on the secondary market, which again, assuming 5%, but you could change that into whatever you want. And so that's going to be your total return, and and then just play that out over the months. So it's really interesting. So here in this model, what I'm saying is SPS is dropping 10% per month. So times 0.9 each time, and vouchers also dropping 10% per month. And so what happens in a year, right? If we go over to June 2023, our APR in terms of just cash flow earnings is 65%. And the total return APR, which includes the resale value, is 48%. So that's after 1 year, I'll expect to have earned, depending on which number you like, the total or the earnings, cash flow or balance sheet, 65, 48%, something like that. And this is assuming a bad scenario for SPS and vouchers. And the reason this is so interesting is because if we go back to the staking APR is 46%. So even in a case where we're depreciating SPS and vouchers by 10% every month, and you can see that in a year, that makes SPS 1.5 cents and makes vouchers 22 cents, then that's still better than staking SPS in game. Now, I have nothing against staking SPS in game. It's important. You're going to need it in order to do stuff. You get tournaments and player staking and all that stuff. Eventually, governance voting, and I have a bunch staked. But for my current, earnings, like what do I do with the money I have now? Everything's going into nodes, and this is why. So, if we do, so that's like a bear case, right? If we do kind of a moderate case, we'll just say that SPS and vouchers stake at this constant price. So, crypto has crashed, 30% in the past week, but it's going to stay in that. So Bitcoin's going to stay in this 20K range, and we're not going to break down to like 15 or 12 or whatever. So in that scenario, the numbers get awesome, right? So we hit cash on cash profit in April of 2023. So that's what, that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 months. We hit 100% earnings. Where we've made back all of the money that we spent already, and then everything after that is just gravy, right? And same thing for total APR. We hit cash on cash in April. But by changing these inputs, we can move things around, right? So let's say less money comes in, right? So instead of 250,000, 100,000 comes in every month, and I've just set these to all be equal. So now, because competition comes in slower, our time at which we make all of our money back comes sooner in time. So we can see that the earnings started to eclipse the node price in February instead of April. Total return lags a little bit into March. And so, but these are the three parameters really that dictate our returns from nodes and license purchases. So how much money is coming in as competition? What is SPS going to do? What are vouchers going to do? So Weathen is beating me to the punch here. How do you see the value of vouchers for Rift Watchers release coming to play? It's a great question. Obviously Yaba and Agrid are here. I don't know if they want to. Well, they're not going to speculate on price, but we do know that Rift Watchers is coming here in. Rift Watchers is coming here in a couple months, probably maybe August, September, something like that, and those are going to require SPS and vouchers to purchase. So let's say we get a 1 month spike in SPS, and then it comes right back, right? So let's say in September SPS goes up to 15 cents and vouchers goes up to $1.50, right? And then we come back down. Let's change that. Equals that. So still just that 1 month spike, and then coming right back to where we are today, it brings everything forward in terms of hitting our cash on cash profit point. It brings it forward by a month. So that's not terrible, And so I mean, with these orange values, you can play the different scenarios. So okay, what if SPS increases over time? What if vouchers increase over time? What if more money comes in? What if less money comes in? So here is you can play with this spreadsheet as much as you like, and you can model those different scenarios and determine for yourself whether, or give us a bull case. All right, you can determine for yourself whether things are doing well or worth the purchase. I say. Okay, so a bull case. What would a bull case be? So let's say, crypto is starting, is not doing a good time, but let's say we have a 5% growth rate in SPS and in vouchers, times 1.05, and so now we're in total return. We're cash on cash in December, which is what, 6 months, and in terms of earnings, in January. So that's now that's well, the first case was a bear case, losing just a steady 10% constantly. Yeah. So let's say the super bears are right in that Bitcoin goes under 10,000 and everything else drops by 50%. Well, it's still a question of what are you doing with your SPS, right? So there's two different types of decisions you could make. I have SPS and I need to do something with it, and versus I have other funds that I want to do something with. So if you have SPS now, in all these scenarios, it's better to buy a node license than it is to stake in game. The APRs are just higher, and I don't, I've played with these numbers a lot. I've not seen any scenario where they are not higher. So if you're holding SPS one way or another, nodes are the way to go. And maybe that changes over time if we get these different mechanisms in play. But for right now is what we got. Then licenses are the way to go. And then if you are bringing in fresh money, excuse me, if you're bringing in fresh money, then you have to look more at what is your, in dollar terms, what is your return rate. But even so, a 60% or 40% return over the next 12 months is not terrible, compared to your other options. So if you're in SPS already, I would say 100% buy nodes. If you are using other funds that are not already in the Splinterlands ecosystem, then you got to evaluate your alternatives and look at your opportunity cost. But it's still pretty damn good. Convince this person that SPS is the way to go. It's not my job to convince anybody of anything. I'm just sharing what I see in the numbers. So obviously, everybody has to make their own decisions. But I know what I'm doing is taking everything I'm earning in Splinterlands and throwing them into more node licenses. So, with that said, let's go ahead and buy a node license, right? What about stake SPS until potential Rift Watchers pump and then buy nodes for less SPS each? I mean, maybe. There's all kinds of scenarios that you could construct. Maybe, but maybe the drop between here and there it overshadows that pump. It's the future is uncertain, and that's just how it goes. Okay, so I thought I would buy a node right here because I take my airdrop and my node earnings, that I already have, and I compound them as quickly as possible. So what are we looking at right now? 53,000 SPS to buy a node straight out, which that number has gone up as the price of SPS has gone down, which is kind of painful. But that's just the price of crypto in general dropping 30%. Okay, so I need 500 licenses, so that's going to drop it to 26,855. And I've got 14,000, so what do I need? Let me bring up my calculator, which you can't see. Come on, calculator. Alright, so let's see, 26,886 minus 14,573. So I need 12,313. So what I will do is I will go to my BSwap wallet, which is the best Splinterlands wallet because it has a very specific function. So go to Splinterlands, scroll down. I've got 1868 vouchers, which means I've got 1,300 more than I actually need for this transaction. So let's move those. And did you see what I did there? This little left-right icon, just 1368. Oops. Voucher transfer to Hive Engine. And the great thing about this function is there's confirm and keychain. The great thing about this function is that it prevents anybody from making a mistake. You know, so many times in the Discord we see people, oh, I sent such and such token to this account, you know, but I've spelled it wrong, and you know, will somebody send it back? You know, it's like, well, you know, it depends on what kind of typo you made and how generous that person is being. But using the left-right arrow here in the BSwap wallet, it takes care of that for you, and you won't make any mistakes. So for that reason alone, I think it's worth using. The secure URL to down. So the BSwap wallet is just a website. There's no download. It's just bswap.dcity.io, and you know, it's from Gerber's DCity team. I'll go ahead and paste in the chat here. So it's just an interface. It's not a wallet. It's not a download on its own. But anyway, I go to swap, and I'm going to swap vouchers. And there's the 1368 that showed up, and I want SPS. Oops. SPS. And let's see, what did I need? I needed 12,313. Will I get it? Oh, yeah, plenty. So I'm just going to convert 12.5 and swap. Confirm. And yeah, so Jarvis saying uses Splinterlands UI to transfer to and from Hive Engine. Works fine. I mean, it does work fine. It's if you don't have the token already, there can be issues with, not with SPS and DEC, but with the other tokens. There's a little UI. It's not even a bug. It's just a thing that's lacking. Where if you don't already have one of those in the game, then the little menu thing won't show up. And you know, BSwap just avoids that whole issue. I'm not live on YouTube. No, the only thing that YouTube gets is the recording. So anyway, I go back to Hive Engine and my Hive Engine wallet. Anyway, once this populates, let's go to SPS, transfer that in game. Click max. Oh, you know, SPS in game only has 3 decimals, so you gotta truncate that. Transfer, confirm. And we go over here, and we'll see a little pop-up. Processing. Come on. What is going on? What? Okay, there it goes. Ah, there we go. You have received 12,502 from SL Hive. Okay, so now I have both SPS and vouchers in sufficient quantity. Click pay with this many SPS and that many vouchers, and hit OK. DJ Bagman says, sent a pack to the wrong account this AM for sure. Sorry to hear that. Hope it works out. You know, some people have claimed those typo accounts and do refund them, but you know, it's just, you know, it's not a good situation. I live in great fear of typos. So purchase successful. I now have 1x more node licenses. And that brings me to an even 50, which is nice. And I'm still kind of lagging on the total list. If we go to Peak Monsters, I refresh the if I change this, does it refresh? Not sure. But I am still number 5. I'm creeping up on Michael B. But Michael B started buying again. You know, I've started pushing him a little bit. Doesn't want to lose his number 4 spot. But I have reached. I've leapfrogged over, you know, places 6 through 10. Because if you recall, when I think it was 3 weeks ago, I started this. I was at number 10 with like 28 or 29 vouchers, um, and I'm now up to 50. So let's see if it shows up here. I don't know if I have to refresh the whole page. Oh, okay. So just refreshing the list will refresh the data. So you can see I went from 49 to 50 there. Um, let's see. So Dizzy Pascal saying, watching on phone, can't see a spreadsheet clearly. Quick question: are your calculations in absolute SPS terms? Well, they are in terms of the dollar earnings of SPS and vouchers over time. Um, Aggrod's going to make another push soon. So Aggrod's got 81. I don't think I'm going to be catching Aggrod, but you know these top two guys have not moved any in the last few weeks. So I don't know. Maybe we'll flip them eventually over time, but you know we'll see how it goes. Let's see. Uh, Michael B is saying, "I think I might let everyone catch up." You know, it's a bunch. You know, whatever the case is, anybody who's got, you know, probably double digits of licenses is going to be doing all right. Uh, okay, so I saw another question here that I missed. When do I see Chaos Legion packs selling out? You know, I don't know. You know, there was that image that Agrod posted in Discord where it modeled, you know, the Untamed sale process versus, you know, what might happen in a similar kind of scenario with Chaos Legion. You know, that's possible. It really comes down to, you know, at this point, it really comes down to SPS, because as SPS, you know, increases in price, if it increases in price, right? No financial predictions here. That attracts more attention, and then people get, you know, more interested in the play to earn thing. Because, you know, in terms of crypto gaming, Splinterlands is already at the top, right? We've already got huge numbers of users, and you know it's you know number one, number two DeFi app just in general. You know, depending on the week, you know, maybe PancakeSwap is higher. But you know, it's Splinterlands has really good market penetration in terms of the crypto gamers. And on the town hall the other day, I forget his name, but the guy from Nifty Arcade was talking about how, you know, there's so many, like 3 billion people who do some kind of gaming, and 3 million you know, do any kind of DeFi gaming or crypto gaming. So you know, it's we're still very, very early in the Tyler Jorgensen. Okay. So we're still very early in the conversion of gaming into, you know, DeFi gaming or crypto gaming or Web3 gaming, whatever you want to call it. But you know, within those 3 million, you know, we got a bunch of them, you know, in Splinterlands already. So you know, there's like 10x room within people who are already in crypto gaming to migrate into Splinterlands, but there's 1,000x room to, you know, as we penetrate into, you know, just overall gaming. So you know, that's really the next great big blue ocean for Splinterlands. Is like, you know, how do we get more people interested in Splinterlands just as a game, and then, you know, entice them with the earnings and everything. And you know, when the marquee token is low and, you know, dropping, then that's a hard case to make. But you know, if we you know, catch a bid and we see things start to rise, then I think that's a much easier public relations campaign to have. So so as far as when things will sell out, I don't know. I do expect the last, you know, 10% or so to go like in a day or two. So keep that in mind. But like, how much of a grind does it take to get from here to that last 10%? I don't know. At the pace we're going, you know, it seems like, you know, it'll be like a year-long deal. But you know, anything can happen. Let's see. Does my bull calculation account for the value of SPS if you had just held rather than bought a node? Well, it's compared against the APR from staking. Yeah. But as far as like just holding the SPS itself, then I mean, no. I mean, but it's you could edit it and put that in. I think 1.5 million packs will sell in a day or so. Yeah, in the at the end, that's true. So we need someone to come out and say, I'm this percent confident we can back the crap out of something. I mean, everybody's got to make their own decisions. That's what makes life difficult, right? Um, yeah, so I can tell you, I'm taking all of my airdrop earnings and now all of my license earnings because I'm earning those vouchers every day, and I'm just compounding as fast as I can into nodes. For me personally, I'm not currently putting fresh capital in. I'm just compounding as much as possible, but we'll see how the numbers go. And but we do know that the lowest price we're going to see for a node license in tranche one is $1,500, because even if vouchers go to zero, then it's still going to be $1,500. And Nylon, I never know how to pronounce your name. Nylon. Last 10% we go in one day. We've seen how all the other sets disappeared, so this one will go even faster as everybody panics and makes it happen. That I agree. And Yaba's saying it's fine and expect, especially with so much crap and scams in the space. I just ignore it and work on building a great product. Some people will see that and participate, and others will miss out, and that is very, very true. All right. So we got about 14 minutes left, and before the end of the show, I did want to hit on a few other things. So that's the notes. I mean, you have the math, you have the spreadsheet, you can calculate your own numbers based on your own assumptions. I'm a buyer. That's that's really what it comes down to. So now we are about 15 hours away from the end of the first season with the rewards rework. That's actually pretty hard to say, and obviously people always complain, right? So the great thing about the rewards rework is that it no longer allowed the something for nothing earnings. So the people who had just the starter pack or the Summoner Spellbook starter pack was the original term years ago. They would have all the virtual cards and then just compete with that and earn rewards, and basically just they would earn something for nothing, and that I have a strong problem with. But that was fixed with the reward rework. And now the complaint of the day is that, well, okay, so people aren't getting something for nothing, but by having a single focus per day, then that makes it too easy to earn, because you can just rent one splinter of cards and then earn based on that, and that's too profitable, I guess, is the complaint. And it's like, okay, well, maybe. But I came to a realization over, as this discussion happened over the last week, and I realized that the problem is not having single splinter focuses, and the problem is not how how often they should be changed. If they should be changed every time you earn a daily chest, or should they be changed every 6 hours, or they should be changed. What people have been suggesting all different things. I've suggested different things, and I realized that focuses should not be related to splinter at all. And a reason I say that is because, once you are into competitive leagues, like I think it's Bronze 2 and up, the available splinters for any given match, change. Sometimes you'll have all five plus dragons available. Sometimes you'll have sometimes you'll have just 2 available. Sometimes 3. Whatever the case may be. So, by having availability of splinters in the game already, what you want to do is, instead of creating a one-dimensional aspect to it with daily focuses, you want to create a two-dimensional aspect where you have the available splinters in any given match, and then coming across that, you want to have the daily focus being some other thing. And yeah, I was saying they'll be adding a bunch of non-splinter focuses soon. So, like, in the old system, we had the sneak and the snipe and those kind of things. So I think focuses should be exclusively those other things, like, win matches with sneak, win matches with snipe, use, death blow, giant killer, reflect magic of such and such amount, all those other things that are not tied to splinter. And so what that would do is it would require you to have or rent the those particular aspects or those particular abilities in the game in multiple splinters because you don't know what's going to be available in any given match. That would that would also pump up neutrals quite a bit because neutrals can be played in most games as long as it's not taking sides in the rule set. So I think that actually makes I think that'll be the most robust thing is just to get rid of splinters entirely when it comes to the daily focus and let the splinter selection in each match dictate the composition that the deck has to have, and then use all the other things to fill out those different abilities that you have to have in your deck. But we got a comment from Brybro earlier in the Discord, and it sounds like Yaba is at least somewhat confirming it. It says, however, we are about to change how the daily focus chests work. Instead of it being based on your highest league achieved from the previous season, it will be based on the current league you start the daily focus in. So after end of season, if you reset to novice, you will start with novice chests. I don't think there are any novice chests actually, but for your daily focus, if you climb back up to champion, then those daily focus chests will be champion chests. And this is kind of in response to people who had, like if you have a bronze chest, I have one account where I started in bronze because I hadn't played this account for several seasons, and I delegated a bunch of cards to it, and I got up to Diamond 2 or something, Diamond 1 maybe. And so, like one win in Diamond 1 is like 24 daily chests for bronze chests. So, that's not an official word yet, but it is an interesting thing that it looks like will be a change. And Nyal on 11, which apparently is how you pronounce that, also has everybody has problems with that name. It says Splinterlands has by far the best project in crypto gaming with an amazing dev team, fun game, huge community, and years of history building a blockchain with zero fees and real accounts. Very confident in the next 5 years of growth we will get there eventually. Yeah, I'm confident as well. So I'm, like I was said at the beginning of the show, Splinterlands was born in the bear market, so this is like, normal for the people who've been around for several years. So let's see. Weath might be screwed on next season, and Jarvis saying hard for me to envision a thing you have to do every game. Seems like a checklist shopping cart approach, or do this small task, then this task, and then this task. Yeah, well, it's I think that's part of the challenge, right? So like, let's say you have win with sneak in order to earn daily chests, then. There's lots of different ways to do that. You can do that with different splinters. You can do that. You could just throw in one sneak monster and just kind of focus the rest on just hitting up front or snipe or opportunity or something. But I think it just increases the depth of cards required and the depth of knowledge required. So and maybe there's some scaling to that where it's easier for noobs if your account is younger than such and such time where different focuses are available to you. But it's also we are 14 days in. It's early. Everybody who's panicking over bots earning in bronze. Well, they were earning before. Now they have to have stake in the game. So that's like 80% of the problem has been solved, at least in my opinion, just by that change. And now we're into the 20%. We're like tweak this, tweak that, and change the parameters and all that kind of stuff. But it's very early. So for everybody panicking, just chill and chive on or whatever the phrase is. But so we have 6 minutes left, and I did want to open some packs because I want to open some packs. So let's do that a little bit, and let's go to the shop, and I need some potions because I think I'm out. When I'm not doing this on stream, I do use the Peak Monsters bulk opener thing because it's way faster, but it is not as fun. So let's do 2,500 legendary potions. And really, this is what everybody came for, right? I gotta open the packs. Gotta do the flippity flip. And I'm still working down the credits that I bought way back when. May your legends be golden. I appreciate that. I hope I do get some gold legendaries. Pay with credits. How many credits do I have left? Looks like about 2 million. And all right, let's go to open. Still have 29,000 packs to go. I mean, it takes a while. Can we open more than 200 now? Has that been changed? Nope. I still got this little gnat flying around me. All right, so 200. 200 it has to be. Open. Okay. And processing. Yeah, node maths and alpha. Always appreciated. Uh-oh. What's going on with my reveal here? Oh, there it goes. You know, when I have the streaming open, my computer does lag quite a bit. But let's go ahead and see if reveal all. Oh. 2 liras. That's pretty good. Oh, Aggro just made the point in Discord that you can buy potions with DEC, and we can play some arbitrage game. I actually have a sheet on arbitrage that maybe we'll have time to open. Got 8 Kelios. You know, rentals on level 1 summoner have been insane. 2 Torrent Fiends, solid. Quicks is nice. Not too many legendaries, but here's one. Soul Fiend, that's good. Blue Whaley Boy, it's a great card. Bakjira. And Zyvax, Venari Knifer. But I got a bunch of Fiends in this one. Fiends are great. You know, they're the updates to the chicken. So let's close that. So let's see. I got like 2 minutes left. I can do it. We can do the arbitrage math. Let's see if I can actually find it. Let's see. Is it this one? Yeah, here we go. Gotta find the right tab. That's the hard part. All right. So real quick, you know, we can spend 4,000 DEC for a pack, right? And we can look at Splinter cards or one of the other tools, and we can see. You know, what is the expected value of the cards in the pack. And when I did this, it was 268. And it's actually dropped a bit since then, so these numbers are old, but just keep this in mind. Then we have to discount out the potions price, because that number that we get is with spending, you know, money on potions. I have not factored in the arbitrage with buying potions for DEC, but 45 cents USD is the number that we're using here. So that means after the discounting out the potions, we're left with 223 a pack. Again, these are slightly old numbers. So if we spend 4,000 DEC on and get 223 in cards, that makes the DEC arbitrage 558 Splintoshis. No, I did not get a legendary summoner. I got some nice summoners, but not a legendaries. Oh no, sorry, I did get a Quicks. I thought you meant gold. So yeah, I got some Quicks in there. So that's the arbitrage price at which it makes sense to buy packs with DEC, and that's going to be pretty close to the floor, because people will do that churn, and then they'll sell cards, and then they'll Splintoshis. That's right, Ron. That's what it's called, Splintoshis. So as whenever I had filled out the sheet, which was a couple days ago, the arbitrage price for DEC was 558 Splintoshis. Right now we're at about 800, so there's room there. It's not worth doing the arbitrage yet, and that number floats as the expected value of the cards in the pack floats. So you know, just something to keep in mind. But this is part of the floor mechanism for keeping a certain price support on DEC. And Agrid pointed out that you can do the same thing with potions, and potions is much more solid because there's an actual USD price rather than a market price for the cards. So also keep that in mind. But I already have the credits, so you know, I don't know. Anyway, that is it for this week, and thanks everybody for coming out, and we will see you next time.